Rev up your engines!
Cristino Cervantes says, what do you think of a 2005 Nissan Maxima with a manual transmission? Oh, those are screaming cars. I got a customer with one, and whenever they bring it in for maintenance, I love driving it. That 6-cylinder engine with a standard transmission, and the main problem with the Nissan Maxima is with their automatic transmission. If that one's got a standard transmission, hey, it can be a screaming fun car to drive around and just take care of the engine, change the oil regularly, change the coolant every 3-4 years, and it could last a long time. Those standard transmission Nissans were well made. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just change the oil a lot, maintain it, don't overheat the engine. That could be a fun car to drive around in. Jim from Carfax, the American hero. Hey Scotty, how reliable is a 2007 Boxster or 911? I'm looking to buy an oldest Porsche, but I want to spend a fortune in repairs. Well, then don't buy one. I got a customer that just bought a Boxster, and now he's crapping in his pants over what he's paying on repair and stuff. I mean, a lot of he's just not fixing. Like the stupid convertible top broke, and these guys wanted $1,500 to fix it. So for $100, I took all the motor assembly off, and now he just opens and closes it by hand, and it works perfectly fine that way. Most guys aren't going to do that, but he's finding the repairs on that thing are just endless. And you know, most guys that buy a Porsche beat the heck out of it, and so you're buying a used one generally. Like even his, when he left it here and I was fiddling around with it for a weekend, I started it up Sunday morning ice cold, and blue smoke came out of the pipes, which means the engine's worn. So you know, he got it as a weekend toy and he has fun with it, but you know, it's not something that you'd even think about buying if you don't want to spend a fortune on parts and fixing it. They're just endless money pits. Little Skipper says, hey Scotty, love your videos. If I lift a truck, will the motor blow up? Well, generally it doesn't bother the motor. The motor's just sitting there up in the air. Now, the main problem is the transmission and the motor will be sitting there, but if the rest of the body is lower, the end of the transmission tail shaft and all the drive shafts are sitting at the wrong angle. I had a customer do that with one, and he towed it over to me. He says, stop running, what happened? And he had lifted it so much that the back of the transmission is called the tail shaft. The back of the tail shaft just snapped right off of the transmission. It won't harm your engine. The engine doesn't care. But it's all the other parts that can break when you're going. That's what you have to worry about when you're lifting a truck. Michael Martin. Hey, Scotty, is a brake fluid flush necessary at 60,000 miles for a Nissan Altima? Now, that's a good question. What you have to understand is brake fluid is what's called hygroscopic. It absorbs water vapor. Now, the systems in any brake system are not totally sealed. They have a little bit of air that get in so the fluid can go up and down. So there's always some water vapor being absorbed into the brake fluid that degrades it. Now, if you're the type of guy that keeps your car forever, I would change it every 60,000 miles. But if you don't, I'll give you an example. I had a customer with a Nissan. It was 12 years old. He'd never touched the brake fluid, and it still worked perfectly fine. It didn't leak anywhere. It stopped. It's over a very, very long period of time that the water vapor is going to bother the system. Now, the Japanese cars are a little tighter built than, say, the American cars. So if you have an American car, I would definitely change the brake fluid out every 6 or 8 years or so if you're going to keep your car forever, because it's going to last longer that way. But if you're the type of guy that gets rid of your car when you get over 100,000 miles or so, you don't have to do anything to it, really, if you want the truth. Allison, 481959. Scotty, how do you tell if your joints are bad when driving a 2000 Crown Vic? Easy. Watch my video replacing, fixing a drive shaft on your car, and it shows me doing it on one. It's real easy, actually, though. You just jack the vehicle up in the air, put it on jack stands, and put the car in neutral, and then you grab the drive shaft, and you try to twist it. And if you twist it, and you see the U-joints in the front or back going clunker, 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 they're worn. Now, when you're driving it, it's pretty easy. When they're really worn is you're just sitting there, and when you take off, you hear a clunk. And then when you take your foot off the gas, you hear a reverse clunk as there's back pressure on the drive shaft. But they're real easy once you jack it up, pull it. You'll see the joints clunking, and you'll see them moving, and they shouldn't move at all. So it's pretty easy to check. It's not a hard thing to do at all.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.